There are few things scarier than the phrase live action anime adaptation. With stellar hits such as Dragon Ball Evolution, Death Note, and Cowboy Bebop, it's not hard to see why. But now we have a new challenger approaching to attempt the transition from 2D to 3D. And with that, I too am feeling inspired to make the transition into live action. Feels good to be my old self again. As you can see, I've been pretty busy for the past few weeks getting moved into a new apartment. One that actually has enough space for me to set up a camera and record. I've got a few announcements about what's coming up on the channel, but I'm going to save all of that for the end of the video. First, we need to talk One Piece. If you're new here, welcome. I'm a One Piece fan who got into the series during the COVID lockdowns and has been caught up with the manga for about 2 years. However, I'm going to try to keep spoilers to a minimum. We're only going to be talking about what's in the show and maybe mention something that's in the East Blue Saga of the anime and manga, but nothing beyond that. Let's talk a little bit about what my expectations were going into the live action show. Like I said in the intro, live action adaptations, they've historically not done very well. Even ones that should in theory be pretty easy to do, like Death Note, they have fallen flat on their faces. And One Piece in particular felt like one that should have not been possible. Like, you have a boy made out of rubber with cartoon physics, you have goofy character designs like walking fish people. So needless to say, my hopes were pretty low when the show was first announced. However, my sentiment began to change when the showrunner Matt Owens made an appearance on the Reverie livestream.
Everyone who works on this show loves One Piece, whether they were a fan before or they became a fan while working on it.
It was so apparent after listening to him talk about One Piece for a while that he knows his stuff. Like, he's an actual fan. He reads the manga almost week to week. He knows a lot of the fan theories, a lot of the deep cuts. So knowing that he was deeply involved with the show as well as Oda, my low expectations actually started to come up a little bit. And that only continued to go up and up as we got the cast revealed, they're just phenomenal, by the way. We got some trailers that actually looked pretty good. So I went from having just like no expectations whatsoever to actually being cautiously optimistic. And I'm so happy to say that now that we've actually gotten this show, it's pretty good. Is it perfect? No. I'll get into that a little bit later. I've actually spent several hours of this weekend that we are experiencing here watching the show and rewatching it a second time. So I'm ready to get into this. So let's talk about some of the castings in this show. Like, first we have Inaki as Luffy, who he channels Luffy energy just like crazy. I didn't think it was possible for a human being to be this much like Luffy. Sometimes his acting and line delivery can feel a little stiff, maybe a little amateurish, but because he's playing Luffy, it kind of works. And then of course there's the CGI for his rubber powers, which I'm not saying they're great, but they're actually not that bad. Like, they're not distracting. Mikenyu as Zoro is an elite casting. He really nails the kind of dry line delivery, the dry humor that Zoro has. And you can tell that Mikenyu has put a lot of time into practicing swordsmanship, at least in an acting kind of way, because his action sequences with the swords are really well done. Like, whenever he gets into a sword fight, pristine. Emily Rudd as Nami was one that some people were pretty concerned about, but I think she does a really good job on the show. Early on, she plays things pretty straight. Like, there's not a huge range of emotions from her, but as we get further and further into the show and we get to like Barrett Baratier and Arlen Park and stuff like that, she shows to have potentially the biggest range of emotion out of anybody. Jacob as Usopp is one that I wish we got a little bit more of. I feel like because of some of the changes to the story, his moment during his arc, he actually doesn't get a whole lot of time to shine. But I will say, like, the little bit we get out of him here and there, it's pretty good. I think he has good chemistry with the actress that plays Kaya. And when he's like in a comedic scene, he does it pretty well. Especially like the scene where Luffy's talking about having met his dad Yasopp, and he's just like, oh, that's cool. I thought it was pretty good. And then there's Taz Skylar as Sanji, who I think is also a very solid casting choice. Because he was the last member to join the crew, we get the least amount of time with him, but I think he also does pretty good with the limited material he has. He definitely has that very charming, suave Sanji-ness to him. And I really do like how in this version, he's not the over-the-top pervert like he is in the anime and manga. He plays things a little bit more cool. He's a little bit more like real-life charming, which I appreciated. But he's definitely one of the characters I wish we got a lot more of, and hopefully if we get season 2, he will have his time to shine. If you know, you know. Outside of the Straw Hats, there are a couple of other castings that I want to just like geek out about. Like Jeff Ward as Buggy. My god, I'm already a fan of Buggy, but Jeff's take on Buggy, it might be my favorite version of the character. He definitely has like the dark, psychotic energy of Buggy from early on in the series down perfectly. He definitely lets a little bit of that kind of goofiness through every once in a while, and it works very well. Mwah. Now, speaking of chef's kisses, can we talk about Craig Fabras as Zeph? Like, I gotta be honest, I don't think this man is acting. I think he's actually the real life Zeph. He was just so good as the former pirate turned into a chef, and he played the kind of mentorship role for Sanji and Luffy so well. Oh, and that scene where he's having dinner with Garp, just great. Like I said, I'm geeking out. And of course, I can't forget to mention Stephen John Ward as Mihawk. Not only did he have the best character introduction in the show, but his consistent line delivery and the way he plays the kind of I am better than everybody else around me Mihawk was perfect. Honestly, I could gush about some of these castings all day, but I don't want to do that. So we're going to move on. So I've already said that the acting in the show is quite good. But what about the story? Like, how well is this material adapting the original? And I think this is probably going to be the most contentious part of the live action One Piece when it comes down to it. So let me make my stance very clear. I adore the original. I think One Piece is one of, if not my favorite stories ever told. I think Oda has just been a very consistently great writer for a long time. But we need to acknowledge that this is not a book. This is not an anime. This is a shorter, 8-hour, concise version of that. So there are going to be changes in order to streamline the experience and make it fit into that 8-hour runtime. And I have to say, even though there are changes, a lot of the the very important iconic moments are still there. We still got Luffy becoming friends with Kobe. We still got Zoro and Luffy teaming up at Shell's Town. We still got Luffy and the gang saving Kaya from the pirates. We got Zoro fighting Mihawk. We got Luffy fighting Arlong at Arlong Park. Like that, all the big moments are still there. It's just kind of the in-between stuff that was changed. And a lot of these changes were made to actually just kind of make the flow from one arc to the next feel a little bit more natural. Like one of the big changes for me was when they don't have Don Krieg attacking Baradier now. Instead, they found a reason to have Arlong go to Baradier to find Nami, and it's having that lead into Arlong Park instead of everybody just going, oh, where did Nami go? I guess we gotta go find Nami. Like, no, they already got their butts kicked by Arlong, and they want to go there, get revenge, kick his ass, and get Nami back. Also, some of these changes allow for other characters to appear where they normally wouldn't, like more of Jeff Ward's Buggy. So, 2 thumbs up for me. Now, perhaps the aspect of the show that I'm the most mixed on is the added marine plotline with Kobe, Helmeppo, and Garp. I will say, I actually do appreciate that there's more time spent on these characters, because if you're familiar with the anime manga, we don't really get much of them until quite a bit further out. Like, Kobe, to me, has always felt like the marine equivalent, the marine rival to Luffy, the way Gold Roger and Garp were rivals. So I'm actually totally okay with having more Kobe, and Helmeppo being in this is also a treat. But it's Garp that I'm a little weirded out by. Now, I do think it's important that there is a powerful, intimidating marine character that is in the background, putting putting pressure on our Straw Hat crew. What kind of kills it for me though is the fact that by the end it's revealed that Garp's not really being a Marine in these circumstances. He's just there to test Luffy and make sure he's ready for the Grand Line. Now, I'm not putting it past Garp to be like, yeah, I'm going to waste a lot of time and resources of the Marines to make sure my grandson is ready for the dangerous Grand Line. It just feels like all of it was for nothing. It's like, oh no, there wasn't really a threat. It was just a misunderstanding. Although it is incredibly stupid that we have Garp actually get in contact with Mihawk and it's like, hey, can you go take care of this rookie pirate for me? Now, like, I know he's trying to test Luffy and all that, but I feel like him putting his trust in the Mihawk of all people to not kill the rookie pirate, yeah, I don't know about that, dog. Now, I think what they really wanted was to have Garp and his relationship with Luffy and his rivalry with Roger, have all of that set up in advance so that they can build on that in the following seasons. Which, okay, that's fair. I understand that. I feel like in the scope of this first season, I feel like a character like Smoker would have fit better. Now, thank goodness we actually are getting a teaser for Smoker in season 2. Hopefully we get to that point because I want to see Smoker in action so bad. Now, overall, I would say that the show has exceeded my expectations even after they were raised up a bit by Matt Owens. However, I am but a humble One Piece fanboy, so I feel like the show didn't have to do a whole lot to please me. So I want to pose a question for both new and existing One Piece fans. What did you think of Netflix's live-action One Piece? Did you have a good time with it? Did you like the actors, the story, the music? And was there enough intrigue in it to make you want a season 2? Also, if you want to continue the One Piece discourse, be sure to hop over to our Discord server. I'm always down to talk One Piece with anybody. Now, as for what I got coming up on the channel in the future, I have this new apartment and fast internet. So I am intending to bring back the live streams. We're going to be doing One Piece chapter reactions as they come out, with the first one probably being chapter 1092 in a week or so. Also, I want to get into the habit of doing like weekly or maybe bi-weekly game streams. Something that's just going to be a nice, chill, relaxing place where we play some games and maybe talk about some anime or other TV that we're experiencing. Really just whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about. Now, as for the Naruto reviews, I have not forgotten. I have already gone through the entire Chunin exam. I've already watched it. I just got a little sidetracked with the move and all, so bear with me. I just gotta find the time to sit down, record my thoughts on it, and then that should be coming shortly after. And then from there, I'm gonna jump right into Konoha Crush and other parts of Naruto, so don't worry. If you like the Naruto reviews, they are coming. But I think that was everything I wanted to mention, so guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. Also, big shout out to the most recent member of the channel, XDouche360. Thank you so much for your continued support.